What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know the gun's about to get it in. But before I get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button thing. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. I couldn't do without you. I already know that, right? So what happened the other day? You know, and I kind of touched on it just a little bit, but I gave you my perspective, how I felt. But I don't count, right? I'm not functioning in the town. I'm not mobbing in Merced like that in the Central Valley in the 209. I'm way up somewhere else, man. So my words shouldn't count, right? As far as the town goes, Merced, because I haven't been back since I went to court a month ago, right? And I seen how the town was looking. It was a beautiful thing, but I wasn't missing nothing. Didn't too much change, and I already know what it is with Merced. But Lucky from Hoodstocks decided that if for no other reason to pull up to the town. We call it the town, kind of like Oakland's the town business. We also call Merced the town because we're not a big city, but we're a town, right? So he pulled up to the town right there on 21st and G Street in the central. That's located in the central part of Merced. I'm not even going to lie. Shit goes down all over the town, but he pulled up in an area that's not anywhere near the west side, right? And he did some burpees. He did 7 out of respect. Now, was he trolling? Was this to show the Nortenos that, hey, he can move how he wants to move and go anywhere? Well, I don't know. Let's get to it, right? So, a lot of people have been dropping little fucking clips of Lucky doing some burpees at Save More Market in Merced on the corner of 21st and G. Now, let me tell you about Save More Market. Is it a hood store? Because people are trying to put too much on it and call it a hood store. It is not a hood store because it is not located in any hood at all. Okay, where 21st and G is, G Street is a main street in Merced, right? It goes up and down the street. Now, if Lucky would have went about 2.3 miles that way, he would have ended up in the Ghetto Boys neighborhood, bust a right, he'd have been in M Street, bust another left, go all the way to Childs, he'd have been in Dead End. He'd have been in the Barrios. He would have been on the west side. And if he would have went the other way, another 2.23 gigawatts, he would have ended up somewhere in the Loughborough Locals area, right? There's different gangs in Merced that control different spots, different barrios, just like any other city. Where Lucky went was not a barrio. And I don't think he knew this. I think he's seen a store that's older looking, looks like a hood store, and said, hey, this is better than anything. Now, I will tell you about that store. A lot of Mexicanos, Mexican nationals do frequent that store because they have been known for years and years and years to cash all the checks of the Mexicanos. So they'll pull up there after work on Fridays usually, and they're deep in there. I remember as a kid going to that store, Save More Market, when all the paisa used to be up there cashing their checks, they'd have the cashiers kind of like attending to them. That was our chance to steal all the Snickers bars. Truth, right? Did I go to that store much as a kid? They used to have meat on sale all the times, and my Hefa on welfare and food stamps used to go over there because they had the good meat packs for sale, right? And meanwhile, I'd be stealing all the penny candies. Real ones remember what penny candies are. Candies are not $1, not a penny. So Lucky pulls up and does some burpees out of respect. Okay? Was it trolling? Some people have taken it as trolling. They're saying that he was showing that he can move around the city of Merced, one of the most notorious cities in the Central Valley, known for several murders, known for gangbanging, known for rappers like GB and several others, known for myself, right? Because we can't take me out of the equation, and just go pull up, do his thing, and no one's going to touch a hair on his fucking bald head. Let me tell you this. I respect Hoodstocks. I like Lucky's get down. He's just doing what I did the other day in San Jose, right? Which is wiggle around and show people, man, hey, you're not scared to move how you move, but at the end of the day, you respect where you're at. You know, when I was in the city of San Jose, best believe I was respecting where the fuck I was at because I knew at any point in time the wrong one could pull up and it could get ugly fast. Now, was I lacking? Well, that's up for you to decide. I'm not going to put myself on blast and tell on myself. My name is not Whack 100. I don't dry snitch. But one thing I can say that's for sure is I was fully prepared for whatever happened to happen. And I'm sure Lucky was as well. You know, you go into a city like Merced or a town, it's not very big. There are gangs. There's a lot of fucking structure there. There's a lot of Nortenos. And I'm sure if a Norteño would have pulled up and spotted Lucky, it could have went sideways, but it didn't. And I don't think Lucky had the intentions to go wiggle to the town of Merced and disrespect Nortenos, because he's never done that. Not on his podcast. He's brought people on his podcast that have actually given Nortenos respect, talking about they are just the other side of the coin. He has had guys on his podcast tell stories about interactions with Nortenos. So at the end of the day, Lucky has always agreed or disagreed in certain situations. I don't think he would have a problem, with dealing with what he had to deal with. I don't think this was trolling Nortenos. I just think that he was happened to be passing by in a Northern California city, and for whatever reason decided to stop by and show some respect. Okay, now I know a lot of people feel slighted and dissed when people pull up to their area, their city, their town, and they're not wanted there. Now, don't get me wrong, the Nortenos will trip. If they see a known Southsider or someone who affiliates with Southerners in their town, they're gonna trip. There's always been that North and South friction and tension in Merced. I could tell you a gang of stories about issues. We knew where the Southerners hung out all the time. There wasn't very many of them. We knew right there in the alley on 12th Street, 12th and G is where they were at. Sometimes when we wanted, we'd go by and throw a fucking egg or a rock, but it never got that hectic or drastic. There was never bodies until there was bodies, and that happened later on. And when it started to happen, motherfuckers started to stay strapped up because they knew it was going down both ways, right? Now, at the same time, the North and South issues of Merced have always been Merced's pleito, and they've dealt with it swiftly and accordingly, right? Not to say the Southerners weren't handling their business, because there was Southsiders right there in the city of Merced, as well as Southsiders from Atwater, Winton, and the surrounding areas coming in and handling their business. So Nortenos, there's nothing new to them to see a Southerner here and there, and you either do something or you don't. That's a fact. Now, Lucky pulling up, there's people saying that he was trolling. So I actually tapped in with one of my primos who's non-active in the game, and I actually tapped in with my primo who's active in the game in Merced right now. Fucking Vato's probably still asleep from a hangover, or from last night. He's going to have a hangover. He's going to need some menudo. He's going to have to go hit Southsiders and go get him a nice bowl, right? Those from the town know what I'm talking about over there by the college. So I tapped in with both of them. And first, the non-active one told me this. He said, hey, bro, it just is what it is. They ain't nothing new. Vatos go in and out of the town all the time. The gangster mentality and the gangbanging area you remember from the 90s and the 2000s, it's not like that anymore anywhere. Now, if the right dude pulls up, if the right Vatos were there in that area, yeah, it could have went down. They would have probably tripped. But gangsters are not out there like that. And that's what I said when I did my spill in San Jose. I seen Vatos downtown flamed up. 1-4s, I was standing right next to them. Right there getting a fucking sandwich at, I don't know what sandwich place that was, right? And then Norteno walked in. He was like, what's up, Carnal? What's happening, bro? Boom. He bought his little shit, got on. Most of them Vatos downtown were on a good one. It looked like that Vato was on a good one. He put his crumpled up dollar bills on the table, and that was that, and got his little soda and went to push, right? But as far as seeing gangsters on the streets like back in the 90s, the times have changed. Vatos ain't hanging out on the streets gangbanging with red rags or blue rags. That's not happening anymore. Vatos are indoors. They're about making a bag, getting money, being a rapper, doing whatever they're doing. Vatos already know if the task force sees you, there's gang task force in every town. They're going to stretch you out. They're going to harass you. They're going to snatch you up. So people ain't trying to be out there like that. So where Lucky went, was it a safe area? Because I'm seeing people say it's a safe area. It's an area where there's no gangbanging going on. That's a fact. I'm not trying to belittle him or say, oh, he didn't pull. If he would have pulled up over here, it'd have been different. Because it probably wouldn't have been. Because again, the gangster's not out there like that. But for the people saying he pulled up to a hood store, like I said, there's not a hood 2 miles this way or that way right there. There might be some brothers. There might be some Woods brother right around that area. But as far as a fucking Chicano, a Norteño neighborhood, not right there on G and 21st Street at all whatsoever. Okay? If he would have went to the dead end store, my neighborhood, or the store right there on M Street, right? Yeah. Vatos be still fucking, they live right there. You would have heard, show, and it could have been on and cracking. But again, I don't think Lucky was playing chess and not playing checkers and trying to devise, oh, I'm going to go over here, but not over there. He pulled up to whatever he looked hood, man. And believe me, Save More Market does look like a little hood store. It does look like, there, like I said, there's a lot of Mexicanos going in and out. It does look like, hey, this could be a spot. And if he was doing it to troll, he just happened to pick the wrong spot. Because you're not going to get brownie points for that area. But he did go to Merced. And I got to respect it. And everyone got to, whether they like it or not. So when I talked to my primo, the non-active one, he was telling me, he says, hey, bro, that's just the way it is. Vatos come in and out. You know, he was surprised that the Vato pulled up. He goes, I don't know what business he had pulling up to Merced. It's not like there ain't really shit there to do. But whatever. Maybe he was just passing through. You know, he knows that Nortenos are frequent right there, or that they got the numbers. And so it was what it was. He said, but hey, it's just another day, right? Hey, he goes, I'm in LA all the time, bro. I'm going here, I'm going there, going to see the familia and shit. And I never get any issues. No one ever presses up on me because I'm not out there gangbanging like that. I'm not out there showing off or doing that. And I said, same thing happens with me, man. When I go to LA, when I go to Long Beach, when I go to Wilmas, when I go to Compton, I'm not over there fucking all flamed up showing everyone I'm a gangster and all that, because I'm not. I'm a family man. My intention is not to disrespect anyone. My intention is to visit my family and get the fuck on. Now, if something happens, I'm not going to bow down. I'm going to die where I stand. You know, and that's just how that goes. And I'm sure Lucky was of the same mindset. Hey, if motherfuckers pull up, because you never know. Things always happen. It's a small world. He could have been right there doing his máquina, his rutina, whatever, his little few burpees. And a car could have pulled up. Vatos would have been like, hey, homie, you from there? And boom, it could have went down ugly. But it didn't. Now, I tapped in with my primo who's active. He's a youngster though. So his mentality is different, right? His mentality is like, kill him. We got to get him. But I wanted to see where he was coming from and what the word on the curb was out there in the town. How Vatos were feeling about this Vato pulling up, right? So I got at him. I'm like, hey, what's up? You see that Vato Lucky from Hoodstocks pulled up over there. He was like, Hood, what? Now, you got to understand, my primo is active. He's in the mix. So he's not the type to sit back and watch YouTube and watch people, grown men arguing on the phone like myself, right? He's not into gang banging over a computer. He's really with the smacktivities. Like if he sees someone or they see him, let's get it or let's not. That's just it, straight up, plain and simple, period. He's been in a prison. He's been in a high desert. He's back, right? So he just got out and he knows what time it is. So as I got it, I'm like, hey, did you hear about that? He said, yeah, I heard that a Vato from YouTube pulled up. Who's that? A Southsider. I said, well, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say what Lucky is or he isn't, but he's definitely from Southern California, right? And he pulled up and I showed him I sent him the little clip of him doing the little burpees or whatever. He was like, oh, that was at Save More Market. He was more concerned with how the town looked than who the Vato was doing the burpees, right? Then when he realized what was going on, he said, was that Vato trying to disrespect the town or what? I said, nah, bro. He was just lightweight doing his thing. And he goes, all right, let me get back at you. So later on, he calls me. He said, oh, yeah, some of the homies are tripping, right? I said, was that right? He said, yeah, they're tripping, bro, because they feel like they're disrespected. I said, well, how did this Vato disrespect if he wasn't in a barrio doing it? You know, well, a lot of people take their city and their town serious. That's the truth. You know, I see a lot of people, especially places like San Jose, Los Angeles, Fresno. You know, we seen the thing that happened the other day with a Legend Loke. Shout out to Legend Lokes from Fresno, right? Where he felt disrespected highly because he felt Lefty Gunplay disrespected his city, disrespected Fresno, right? And he made a whole video about it and did his thing about it, right? And I see where he's coming from. You know, I see where he's coming from. You know, there was a lot of people, oh, he's just clout chasing off Lefty's name. That wasn't the case. He was standing firm in the defense of his city because his town means something to him. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there saying we don't own the cities, but when you're a gang member and you get your barrio or your city blasted on you, you're ready to die for that shit. You're ready to toil for the soil where you toiled, right? That's how it is. You're not trying to disrespect any other city. You don't want them stepping and shitting on yours. So I understand where Legend Lokes was coming from, and I understand where Lefty Gunplay was coming from, because at the end of the day, he's fuck everyone else but him. That's how Vato's mentalities are when they're gang members. Okay, so Legend stood his ground for his town. My primo got back at me and he was like, hey, homie, that shit ain't gonna fly again. But the truth is, if fucking Lucky wanted to double back and do another burpee, he probably could if he's in the right area. But now antennas are up and now it's all point bulletin on anybody trying to slide being disrespectful, right? Do I think Lucky his intentions were to be disrespectful? No. I think Lucky over time and doing his podcast has heard the city Merced mentioned, seen it on the map right off the Highway 99 and said, hey, let's slide over here, bro. Maybe get something to eat. Let me see what this town's all about. And maybe said, you know what, I'm going to show some respect. Or maybe I'm totally wrong. And maybe his intention was to show these motherfuckers ain't shit out here. Well, I'm here to tell you, every town, every city in California wiggles if it's the right time. You know, it's funny that myself, when I was in San Jose and I was doing my little videos, and it was the middle of the day, man. I even was in the courthouse, Santa Clara County courthouse, right next to the county jail. My homeboy had court. We were in the courtroom. There was Nortenos there. I'm sitting there like, damn, these motherfuckers are going to recognize me. It's going to get to cracking, right? But I had no issues, thank God, you know, because I wasn't looking for issues. When I went to Lazy Boy's area, did I go to troll him? Nah, I went to have fun. I went to show everyone, you know, hey, this is where they did that video, man. Where's Lazy Boy at, right? Just clowning. Again, it could have got me in a lot of hot water. It could have made if motherfuckers see me, they could have tripped if they wanted to trip. So I wasn't hiding. I didn't go there at 2 a.m. I didn't get in and get out, just jump in the car and jump off. No, I was walking around, homes. I went to McDonald's, to a taco truck, to another fucking marisco, you know, I was there for the whole day. I was there from fucking 10 o'clock in the afternoon when I got off the plane in Oakland and got my rental eventually and ended up going there, pulled up to the homie's house and we went to go eat at a marisco. And then he took me around on a tour because I wanted to see these different barrios and how they've changed over the years since the last time I was in San Jose, man. And it did change. It changed a lot. Like I said, the gangsters were not out on the streets anymore. Gang members ain't doing that anymore. So Lucky pulling up to Merced, it's up for people to decide whether it was disrespect or not. But I know there are some young Nortenos feeling some type of way about it. You know, and then people like myself that is no longer gang affiliated, but still got love for the town, still got love from where I came up. You know, I could only say that back in our days, that was unheard of for Vatos to just pull up. And you know, we didn't have internet. We didn't have that. But for Vatos to think that they could just pull up, we would have felt some type of way. We'd have doubled back. Like, fuck it, let's go to LA and do something now, right? That's the mentality there. It's always, see, being Mexican, Chicano, coming from the gangs that we come from, you always see a lot of Mexicanos, Chicanos going at it on the internet or arguing or whatever, North and South beef. We're very tribal, right? Tribalism is a big thing in our culture. We always want to be number one, primera. That's how it's always been. In the youth authority, it was like that. In prison, it's like that. You know, you want to be a part of the winning team. So, was this a shot? Did Lucky disrespect Merced? Not necessarily. He didn't go piss on the ground or spit or do things that you think when you think of disrespect. He did a few burpees, man. For the Vatos that are tripping or trying to push that narrative, I seen one guy, yeah, man, he pulled up to Merced. He did that. And Vatos didn't want nothing. Nobody was there, bro. If you're not from the town and you don't know where he went, it's right next door to a school. Right next door to a school. You could ask Lucky. Ask him. East Campus is right next door. It's actually called, it's a continuation school now. You know, Yosemite High or something like that. But it used to be East Campus back in my days. It's 2 stories. I remember, man, I went over there. I was a youngster, man. Went over there with some homies. They were getting into with some Africanos, and we threw a dude off the fucking second story. True stories, right? Me and the homeboy Squeaks, rest in peace. But to be totally honest with you guys, I didn't take it as a form of disrespect. I'm from the town. I still got love from the city. I'm always going to be from there, right? I was just like, hey, damn, look, it's my town. I was proud. Like, hey, look at Lucky pulling up. That's right. You know, just like it would be if you seen me in LA or something. Yeah, there's going to be Vatos that trip because of my status and Vatos that hate on me because of YouTube. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going there to disrespect. You know, if anything, I'm going to show love, man. You know, and for those that say, oh, Gunner doesn't pull up or he would never do that. Man, I went to LA. I went live for an hour, 2 hours in Anaheim, Holmes. Who remembers that? For the Cholo Trucker fight. I was right there in OC, Orange County, man. I did pull up to certain areas, right? In LA. I was in Victorville, man, i.e. Showing love. So, and I got nothing but respect. Vatos recognized me. In fact, that day that I did that live, we were standing up on the balcony doing the live, me and the fellas, right? For whatever reason. And as I came walking down the stairs, there was a Southsider, straight up Southsider sitting in his car. He was watching the live and he looks and he looks and he looks and he says, damn, bro, that was you, huh, homie? I said, yeah, that was me. And that was that. Anyways, man, shout out to Lucky for doing what he did. And there are Vatos that are tripping, man. Especially when these fucking cowards and lames that run these YouTube channels that try to stir up controversy and make it to something it wasn't. Oh, he fucking shit on the Nortenos, bro. No, he didn't. Bro, he's had plenty of dudes on his podcast that spoke highly of Nortenos, and he's agreed. I don't know how he feels about North and South, but I respect Lucky, and I can tell you, man, I've never seen him say a derogatory thing towards guys up north. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've never seen it. So I don't think he was disrespecting. I think he was passing through, and it is what it is. You know, like I said, one primo said he has that same mentality as me. Like, hey, homies ain't even out there like that. It's not even a big deal. Where the other one was like, no, fuck that. Them Walters ain't going to come over here and do that. That shows the difference in mentality, and that's what I'm trying to express. Do I think he'd be welcome with welcome arms? No, absolutely not. You know, especially in a city like Merced, North and South is very, very ugly. But, you know, he did that, and you can't take it from him. With that being said, man, that's the word on the curb. That's how motherfuckers are feeling right now. There are some Nortenos tripping. You know, but it happened, and you got to move on. Straight up. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Shout! The gun.